Welcome back to the Miss Finn Show. I am your host, Miss Fins. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Really do appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. You already know what I'm going to ask. You know what I'm going to say. Go ahead and hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen, on your way in. We're going to have a fun conversation today because we have to talk about it. Good morning, Michelle. Welcome. First one in the building. Appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. Subscribe today, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Delusional. Much appreciated. Morning Patriots fans, that would literally be just you. I see this. Just say, oh, I love it. But guys, thank you for coming through. This is the Miss Finn Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, if you can do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know that we're here. Please hit that like button. You already know we need the like button so that other people know we're live. So go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you are taking care of that for us. Really, really, really do appreciate each and every one of you guys coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Why? Because, well, I mean, it really helps out the channel. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, guys, and once we do, we're trying to get it before the season ends, so I can give you guys free game tickets. So go ahead and subscribe. We already got over 10 people in here that quickly. Love it. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. We only got 4 likes, so let's go. Good morning, Adam. Welcome. We better win Sunday night, or I'm done with this season. Michelle, a lot of people are feeling that way. A lot of people are just as nervous. So trust me, I get it. I get it. I get it. It's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. This is, I mean, if you didn't already know, this is absolutely a must win for us. Like a must win. And right now, you know what? We should be fine, ladies and gentlemen. We should be fine. Um, we should be able to win. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm focusing on the 1972 Dolphins, I hope it's a good game. I think it'll be a good game, Delusional. I really do. I do think it's going to be a good game. But this is why I want to focus on the 72 Dolphins right now today, because this game is the main celebration for the 72 Dolphins. And apparently, I just found out the Dolphins really love challenges because it looks like we don't win on Sunday night games. Apparently, I don't know. That's what I just found out. I guess I just saw that. And if that's the case, this is just going to be another awesome hurdle that the Dolphins will need to go ahead and overcome. Good morning, Jeremiah. Welcome. Michael K. Good morning. Miss Fins, hope you're having a great day. Fins up and let's go, Dolphins. Yes. Mark K. Welcome. Good morning. Um, yeah, this is gonna be very, very, very interesting for us. It's gonna be a challenge, but you know what? It's at home under those, stadium lights, and we're gonna look into it. We should be okay. Marquez already with the Steelers by 14. You mean the Dolphins by 14? Appreciate you. It's okay. We don't mind if you're dyslexic and meant to write Dolphins. Appreciate you. Uh, but but yeah, guys, I want to focus on the 72 Dolphins because right now um this is a celebration, guys. And if you didn't know, this is what the Dolphins will be wearing in their old school logos. This is a patch that they're gonna be wearing, okay? Which is in commemoration of the 1972 team. So there you go. In case you haven't seen it, I know. See how beautiful that is. You see, yeah. So yeah, I didn't realize, but when I got these at the stadium, I went back like in this past week and they don't have them no more. So very few people have these. Those who do, you're lucky. Lucky is all I gotta say. Um, I'm trying to get that as a patch so I can put on my jersey. That's really what I'm trying to do. Yeah, that's really what I'm trying to do. to be honest with you, because guess what? It's very important. Nah, with the 1972 Dolphins, one of the cool things about it is obviously at the time Joe Robbie was our owner, Don Shula was the head coach. We were playing at the Miami Orange Bowl, which guys, before they got rid of it, I played in the Miami's Orange Bowl. Okay, it was so awesome, so much history. I was a little kid. I don't know, a little kid. But yeah, I was a teenager, so I was so happy that I got to do it, and it was actually with my marching band because I was in marching band, and we were there for an invitational, and I have pictures in the Miami Orange Bowl. I still have them, which is cool, to be on that field, all that history, to be there, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Good morning, Ronald. Welcome. So yeah, that was pretty much. As you guys may or may not know, in that time the Dolphins did go 14-0 in the regular season and won all three preseason games. I mean, post season game, the divisional playoffs versus the Brown. They went 20-14. They won the AFC Championship against the Steelers, 21-17, and they won Super Bowl 7 versus the Redskins. And a few years ago, and I mean a few years ago, for Super Bowl 50, the a company, I'm not gonna say which company because I'm not promoting them, no free promo, but a company did make some commemorative bottles, and I actually have two sets, but they make commemorative bottles for like Super Bowl winners. Not every franchise can say that. Bills. But yeah, so we got the 1972 bottle, so y'all can see. There you go. And then in the back, yeah, just hoping y'all can see it. In the back, we got the Miami Dolphins 1972 championship, Super Bowl 7, as you can see. See? Super Bowl 7. I'm trying to see so y'all can see it. But yeah, hopefully y'all can see that. There's a cool commemorative um bottle. At the time I had to ask my parents to. No, no, actually. No, I think I got it myself. Yeah. Victory one of two. Why? Because we're one of the very few Super Bowl champs to A, not only have multiple Super Bowls, but B, have back-to-back Super Bowls. So yes, that's. So I have two sets of these. I'm never getting rid of these. Yes, they are full, and they're gonna stay full till the end of times. So that's the 1972 one, and because we're talking Super Bowl, since we actually have two of them. What's up, Color? Good morning. It's a Pepsi. Yes, it is exactly. But nobody gets free promo. See, now we got the 1973. You see, 1973 Super Bowl commemorative bottle. See, the Miami Dolphins 1973 champions for Super Bowl 8. Oh, look at that. Look at that beauty right there. Super Bowl 8, baby. Yep, it was a Super Bowl 50 limited edition can. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. I saw it. I'm like, I'm never going to see these cans ever again. Hence why I got them. You know what I mean? I'm very happy that I got them. Let's see here. But they don't pay so they can kick rocks. Exactly. Coke all the way, guys. Coke over Pepsi anytime. There's a reason why people have to say, is Pepsi okay? Pepsi's never okay. Just know that. Oh, I love to see. This is what I love about the community, man. Thank you so much, Ronald. If you guys don't know, awesome subscriber to the channel, Miss Finn supporter. So thank you, Ronald. Much appreciated. He is a Bills fan, and he says, "Hang on to those memories, Miss." It's Miss Fins. It'll be ages till you have more. Great. Thank you so much. See, yeah, he agrees. He's a friend of the show. Appreciate you. Um, it'll be ages till we have more. It could be ages, but at least we have so there you go. Yeah, just saying. At least we have them. Just saying. Y'all don't have the opportunity. You had four opportunities, actually. I'm lying. Four opportunities, but yeah, couldn't really get over the hump four times. So it happens. Um, but yeah. Oh, there it is. The good old AFL titles. Yep, that nobody even knows about. I guarantee you, ask any football fan, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" 90% of football fans, because nobody cares about that. Why? Nobody cares about NBA championships before the NBA merged. Nobody cares. Most people don't even know about it. They don't even care about it. They only care about the finals now. What's up, Phins? What's up, Batman? Finsaholic show hosted by Batman. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, check out his channel. Amazing channel. Go ahead and check him out. Also, too, check out TFTG, the Fins Tailgate, with my co-host, Color Calm from last night. Um, cause no, I know history. I'm aware of it. But most people don't care because it's not a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So just saying. But hey, I'm glad you have those memories. Congratulations of those very fond, I'm sure, memories. You can hold your hat onto that because it'll be ages before you see a Super Bowl. So there you go. There you go. But enough with the chit chat. Enough with the chit chat. We got a nice little banter. Guys, you already know what to do. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like button, share, subscribe. Subscribe today. So back to the 1972 Dolphins, guys. Listen, that whole team had a total of 9 Pro Bowlers and 4 All-Pros. That team was decimated. I mean, that team had to go through so much. Honestly, my trash talk is like PG rated. I really don't like trash talking, Mike, okay? Honestly, I feel like I'm bad at it. That's why I don't. But once in a while, I gotta throw a little jab in there. But that's it. Uh, yeah, man. If you guys don't know about the history of the 1972 Dolphins' perfect season, it was a rough season for us, guys. It was a franchise 7 season at that point. And to be honest with you, it was a rough season. It was the one and only perfect season for the NFL at that point. And to be honest with you, if we talk about controversy now with or challenges now with players getting injured, blah blah blah. Back then they barely had pads. I mean, barely had pads, ladies and gentlemen. And so much so that they had, right now we're the Dolphins. It's funny enough, and this is why I have to compare so much. The Dolphins are kind of in that same path. We're no longer undefeated, obviously, but as far as the things that we have to overcome, the Dolphins are kind of right there. The current Dolphins in 22 are kind of in the same as the Dolphins in 72 because they had to deal with injuries back to back. I'm talking like injuries in different positions. I mean, and even with that, we still managed to find ways to win. Um, let's see here. Adam E, welcome, welcome. Good morning. And that's the cool thing about the 1972 Dolphins, man. Obviously, you guys know our starting quarterback, Bob Greasy. You know what I'm saying? Amazing quarterback. Let's not lie. Bob Greasy, I mean, obvious Hall of Famer. The well, like literally. Oof, my bad. Excuse me. Um, obviously. Um, come on, man. Hall of Famer. That's right now. Bob Greasy, drafted in 67 by the Dolphins. He was the first round, the fourth pick. He played for the Dolphins from 1967 to 1980. I mean, having a quarterback to play consistently like that, that's something that you strive for. You know what I mean? It's not easy. It is not easy. They had depth unlike now. But you know what? We have depth, Michael K. But it's not gonna be easy. You know what I mean? Bob Greasy is also one of the Hall of Famers that we have here. Obviously, he's our two-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl 7 and 8 with the Dolphins. He's also been Player of the Year 1977, two-time first team All Pro in 71 and 72, six-time Pro Bowler. Come on, man. At that point, he was a passing touchdown leader in the NFL. Um, and and if you like the Dolphins, ladies and gentlemen, and we all talk about Tua, his completion percentage right now. He's one of the most what do you call it, the most accurate quarterbacks here and there. Yeah, well, guess what? Bob Greasy was also in '78 the completion percentage leader as well in the NFL, which is pretty cool. Now to go back to your AFL, Mr. Ronald. Um, Bob Greasy was also two-time AFL All-Star as well, so and a bunch of other stuff. We obviously retired one of the very like literally the Miami Dolphins only have two retired jerseys. And one of is Bob Greasy, sorry. My apologies. Um we have three so far. We got Bob Greasy, Marino, and Zonka. And right now, I don't understand how Jason Taylor's jersey is not retired, in my opinion. But it is ceremoniously not, retired. But like, it's not. What do you call it? It's not utilized. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not utilized by players. The number 99 is unofficially unretired. But I'll tell you this though. I know that Armstead right now is wearing the 72 number, but to me, the 72 number needs to be retired. Like nobody should ever let him be the last guy to ever wear the 72. Heck, 72 and 73 should not be allowed to be worn by the Dolphins, by anybody. So Bob Greasy, as you already know, starting quarterback, one of the only few, and he's number 12, his jersey number. Marino, we all know 13. He literally our biggest, most recognizable player of all time is Dan Marino, and then obviously Zonka with 39. So yeah, that's you know what I mean. Like that's essentially how we have it there. But Bob Greasy, man, phenomenal, 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 phenomenal human being. And you know what? We love him. We absolutely love him. And because we love him, thank God he's still here. Um, yeah, let's talk about it in the 72. This man literally broke his ankle in week 5, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, broke his ankle, not sprained it, broke his ankle. Week 5. By then, in week 5, the Miami Dolphins had already played at that point Kansas City Chiefs and won. We won 20-10. We had played the Houston Oilers and won. We were 34-13. We had played the Minnesota Vikings at that point and won 16-14. We played the New York Jets, New Jersey Jets, and won 27-17. And then San Diego Chargers, 24-10. That's week 5. And my man's literally breaks breaks his ankle. I mean, anybody that breaks anything is done for the entire season. Nah, not this superhero. No, not at all. So what happened? Obviously, if you don't already know, that's why you're having this educational show here, and then we touch between now and then, so y'all have an idea. Earl Morale had to come in and back up and start the remainder of the regular season. And back then it was 14 weeks. So that means that he had, can't do math right now, 9 weeks. So just over 2 months. And Bob Greasy couldn't even play. He couldn't even play. And yeah, that was rough. And he didn't even come back till literally the AFC Championship. So 10 weeks later, or 10 and a half, if you will, Bob Greasy came back from a broken ankle, ladies and gentlemen. And he came back in the second half of the AFC Championship game. And then he started in Super Bowl 7. I'm telling you, man, if you guys don't like, Bob Greasy is a superhero, guys. Bob Greasy is a superhero. But shout out to Earl Morale because he held it down, ladies and gentlemen. He held it down. Week 6, we play the Buffalo Bills. We win 24-23. Dolphins. Amazing. And you know what? In a little bit, I'm going to break it down a little more details. Because I want to show you guys something, and that's very interesting. There's really not that much of a difference between, so far, the 72 Dolphins and the 22 Dolphins. Can't believe that, man. 50 years, guys. My parents were like in diapers. 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 50 years. That's a long time. That's a very long, that's a lifetime ago. And thank God we still have some of our guys still left and still alive from that 1972 team that, that can still be celebrated. That is the best overall team of all time. The 1972 Miami Dolphins. People can haterade all they want. They can't deny it. I'm a rider. You don't want to with me. Da-da-da-da-da. It is, I mean, it is a fact. Dolphins right now, 1972, greatest franchise and greatest team of all time. Hence why when they did the whole NFL 100th, anniversary, who was our number one overall team? You can't pick nobody else in the perfect season. Get out of here. So, yeah. But guys, we just finished week 6. And I spoke to you guys about it. You know what I mean? I thought I what do you call it? I talked to you guys already about week 1 and week 2, the similarities between 72 and 22, right? Week 3, when we played the Buffalo Bills, we won 21-19. Back then, when we played the Bills, it ended up being 24-23. The first time, obviously, because they're in our conference, so we played them twice. In week 6, we got 20 first downs in 72, and in 22, we got 31. See? But irregardless of the actual teams that we were playing, week 3 back then was the Vikings, 16-14. Dolphins were on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. We produced a total of 254 yards that game. We ended up passing 134 and then running 120. We got 2 turnovers, unfortunately, in that game, too. Nobody wants that. And that was the offense. As far as the defense, we allowed 12 first downs. We allowed 240 yards, allowed 109 passing and 131 rushing, but we did cost 4 turnovers. And in that game, brutal game versus the Minnesota Vikings in week 3, we came out on top 16-14, ladies and gentlemen. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely love it. Love it. Bob Greasy was cooking. Oh, what are we gonna? Oh, what are we talking about here? What's up, Shake Money? How you doing? Uh, you know what, Mark K? You don't have to stay. Clearly, you don't like it, and I'm gonna take the time to just say you don't have to stay. You can go. Okay, you can go. I don't understand why you're so bothered. I'm gonna say his name however I want to say his name. I read it as morale. It is what it is. It's probably different. It is what it is. Bob Greasy. I could have said Bob Grease. That's really what I was gonna say. I remember. Oh, Bob Greasy. You don't gotta stay here, man. You don't have to stay here. Okay? Just saying. Cause you don't have to be um what is word? You're not the hall monitor, sir. And this is in your classroom. Thank you very much. Moving on. Yeah, that was week 3, ladies and gentlemen. What did the Dolphins do in week 3? Well, let's go over that too. In 22, we played the Buffalo Bills. We did total of 212 yards. You know, that's hilarious. Just slightly under what we did 50 years ago. Okay. We had 171 in passing yards, 41 rushing. Definitely our rushing game wasn't there. You know what I mean? But the good thing is, this time we didn't turn it over twice. We turned it over 0 times. Thank you very much. Our defense did allow 497 yards for of nothing, of air. You know what I mean? 382 in passing, 115 in rushing. And we did force 1 turnover versus the um, four that we forced in 1972. So right now, definitely much better over there. But at the end of the day, guys, very similar numbers minus the defensive line. So many points. Let's be real. And then obviously our rushing literally not being there. That was week 3. Now let's go to week 4. In 1972, the Miami Dolphins played, like I said, the New York Jets. We won that game 27-17, guys. We got 23 first downs. We did a total of 394 yards in that game. 220 were in passing, and 174 was in rushing. We only did one turnover, so we're getting better at this point because we had what, two in the first week, four in the second week, two in the third week. Now we're down to one turnover, which is really good. Our defense only allows 16 first downs, 270 yards total, which 147 were passing and 123 were in rushing. We did also get one takeaway, and that was against the Jets, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, when we won this back then in 1972, that made us 4-0, and that's beautiful. This week, though, this year, it was a little bit different. What's up, Green Rat? Welcome, 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 welcome. Let's see here. Now, as far as week 5, this year, interestingly enough, wait, no, that was week 4. Week 4, 2022, we played the Bengals. We lost this game 15-27. They scored last minute points. That's not reflective of what it was the entire game. It was 15-16, and then last minute they scored some points and made it more. But our offense did get 20 first downs versus, 7 the 23 that they got in 72. They did 394 total yards. In this game, excuse me, we did 378. We had a total of 293 passing yards and 85 rushing yards. And as you can see, as a general theme, rushing was very important for the Dolphins back in 1972 with 220 yards, 174 rushing yards. Um, as far as turnovers, our offense did cuff it up twice. Our defense allowed 16 first downs, a total of 371 yards. 304 of those were in passing, and 67 were in rushing. So at least our rushing defense got much better. Definitely much better. Um, yeah. Keep it cordial, guys. Keep it cordial. Let's see here. So that's the cool thing. And you see some similarities. Obviously, we didn't win. We didn't pull out the win in week 4. But guess what? We lost our starting quarterback in week 4. In 72, they lost their starting quarterback in week 5. Difference is, thankfully, Tua, um, horrific head injury. Took time, 2.5 weeks to get evaluated and get brought up to speed. He is starting for this game, Sunday night game, or at least he's hinted at starting. McDaniel hasn't officially said it, and we'll see if Tua actually ends up starting. He hasn't been called a starter. Um, but so far the hints are there that he's preparing himself to start. Tua's preparing himself to start. So that's why I want to say, this kind of the similarities between their starting QB and our starting QB getting injured. The difference is our backups couldn't actually keep it going, like morale did. Um, yeah, and we lost to the Bengals. Week 5, they played the Chargers back then, and they beat San Diego Chargers 24-10. They only allow I mean, we had 239 yards in offense. 86 was passing, 153 were rushing. Unbelievable. Man, they love rushing. Our rushing attack was insane back then. I mean, one could say we were super led by our rushing attack in that 1972, Super Bowl run. Um, we had 100, like I told you, we had 153 rushing yards and 86 passing yards. But then again, we're with our with our Greasy. That was the last game he played, when he got injured. And then we had our backup. So numbers are gonna switch a little bit, but eventually, morale gets it. So he figures it out. He figures it out, which is a good thing. I think that our backups this year in 22, they started figuring it out. The problem is we never had somebody to actually stick and start and finish the whole game. Both backups started and couldn't finish the game because they also got injured during the game. So, like in 1972, the Dolphins now are plagued with injuries, but it happens. It's part of football, and they proved it back in 1972. I mean, this team is awesome, absolutely awesome, and I mean, look, when you're starting a backup quarterback, you never know what you're going to get with your backup quarterback. Let's be real. You never know. You never, 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 never know. You never know. I mean, and morale, and I'm going to stick saying morale, and if you don't like it, too bad. Bye bye. Um, we didn't draft him. He wasn't our backup initially. He was in the league for a long time. But he played. We were the last team he played for before he retired. He played for us 1972 to 1976 as a Miami Dolphin. He started in San Francisco, was drafted by San Francisco in the first round. He was second overall pick that year. Then he went to Pittsburgh. Then he went to the Lions. He went to the Giants. He went to the Baltimore Colts back then, because, as you know, they used to be the Baltimore Colts before they moved to Indiana. Um, but yeah, he wasn't what do you call it? He wasn't as bad of a backup quarterback. He did, you know, win two titles with us. He actually has a total of three titles, three Super Bowl titles, but he did win two of them with us. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So Earl Morale, um, he did his thing. He still managed to, deal with the adversity of playing football. But when you have a veteran like that, because I mean, at that point, I put him as a veteran. You know what I mean? What up, Chef Jew? God Soldier, welcome. Um, he he made himself into a professional, man. He came in week 6 versus the Buffalo Bills and got that win. Granted, we ran for 230 yards and 80 passing yards, but you still need somebody to catch the ball when it's snapped, and you need somebody to distribute and to take control of the offense and the offensive line, and he did that. As a veteran, thank goodness that he did that. And if it wasn't for him, and this kind of reminds you of the Eagles in 2018 when Wentz went down, Carson Wentz went down, and Nick Foles had to take over in the, obviously Moron played way longer than that, but he actually had to come in and play essentially. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last week of the regular season and the playoffs, or if not all the playoffs. Nick Folk, and they ended up beating the New England Patriots with Tom Brady and won the Super Bowl in 2018. So kind of like that. So that wasn't the first time that's happened. Obviously, proof is in the pudding with the Dolphins. But we were one of the first teams that had to deal with that type. One of the first. I didn't say the first, so relax. One of the first. What's up, Kenna? Welcome. And he held it down, guys. Held it down. And then, the funny part is we still had a total of 310 yards for that game. You know what I mean? We still have it. We coughed it up 4 times, but even through adversity, again, the Dolphins managed to find a way to win 24-23. And that's the cool thing about the 1972 Dolphins that most people don't understand how much adversity that team had to deal with. And I mean, deal with. Obviously, when you got, I mean, Hall of Famers in Zonka and Mercury Morris, you know, just insane. Thank you, JM. Welcome. Good morning. Um, Richard, I didn't even see you. What's up, Richard? Welcome. You and Ronald, you have similar names, or at least it looks similar to me. But Ken, I don't know if you're talking to me, or if you're talking to, or if you're talking to somebody in the chat. But let me know if you're talking about 1972. Well, obviously, Don Shue was the head coach. Just in case you didn't know, just saying. But but yeah. So yeah, hey, our running attack was insane. 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 Oh, Joe Robbie was the owner of the Miami Dolphins. And our stadium, when we got it, that's why it was named initially Joe Robbie Stadium. He was the one that paid for it, built it. I know, mind over matter. R.I.P. Don Shula. I wish he would have made it to this, you know, to this game. That would have been cool. What's up, Chris? Welcome. You know what I mean? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, 72 Dolphins, they were on it. They even had not one, not two, but three shutout games that season in the regular season. Let me talk about it. Because week 7, we played the Baltimore Colts 23-0. Completely shut them out. Scored 375. We scored obviously 23. We had 375 total offensive yards, 286 completely led by our rushing attack, 89 passing, 286 in rushing, only one turnover. And guys, woo, 24 first downs, ladies and gentlemen. We just killed the Colts in that game. Then week 8, we played the Bills. Murdered them. Double their points. We scored 30. They scored 16. And this is the second time we meet them because, again, it's a, what do you call it? Divisional game. So, yeah. With a total of 327 yards, ladies and gentlemen, 73 in passing, and 254 rushing yards. I'm telling you, Zonka and Morris, man, they just murdered, man. They just murdered, absolutely annihilated the Bills. Never nobody's. So it makes sense. We only allowed them to go ahead and have 12 first downs, and they only did a total of 172 yards. Total 172 yards. They couldn't even make it to 100 passing yards. They got 99 passing yards and only 73 rushing yards. And they cuffed it up to us. So yeah, it was gorgeous, glorious, and beautiful. It was gorgeous. That was week 8. Now the Dolphins are 8-0. Week 9, ha ha. Talk about a 50 burger, ladies and gentlemen. I need y'all to sizzle on this one. 52 to 0. 52 to 0. One of the biggest point differentials in NFL history, ladies and gentlemen. 52-point differential. One of the biggest shutouts of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Just annihilated the Patriots. They were nothing compared to that. Put us 9-0. And let me tell you something. We went off. That was a passing clinic, ladies and gentlemen. Earl was just pass, 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 pass. He had 301 passing yards, 181 rushing yards. We were led by the passing offense. A total of 482 total yards. Why our second biggest yardage of a game. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome, guys. Absolutely awesome. We murdered them. Murdered them. We caused 3 turnovers by the Patriots. We only allowed them to do 11 first downs. They got only a total of 169 yards, 77 passing, 92 rushing, ladies and gentlemen. They couldn't do anything. 52-0. One of the biggest wins of all time. Week 9. Miami Dolphins versus the Patriots. Yeah, they will. Historians will tell you. Patriots don't want to talk about it because they know they got whopped up and down by the Dolphins. Yep, 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 yep. Uh, very beautiful. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. I can't obviously talk about 22 because right now we're in week 7 and we're about to play week 7 game on Sunday. But that's why I'm sticking to 72 because, guys, we're celebrating the 1972 Dolphins this Sunday on prime time. Prime time Sunday night football. Waiting all day for a Sunday night. You know, Carrie Underwood. That woman will die singing that song. Or a million versions of it. You know, for the next 100 years. She's gonna be the one singing it. I'm telling you. Um, which is good for her. You know what I mean? Good for her. Get it, girl. I love country music. I love her too. But yeah. And then we got the New Jersey Jets, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? Yup, you guessed it. The Dolphins won. 28-24, guys. 346 total yards. We didn't even have to do much with them. So sorry. 214 rushing yards, 132 passing yards. We cuffed it up, though, 3 times. I'm not happy about that. But guess what? We still made it happen. We made them cuff it up 3 times, too. And they only got 283 total yards. So, yeah. It's some good stuff. And by then, ladies and gentlemen, the Dolphins are 10 and 0. 10 and 0. It's not easy. Now, just so you guys know, and I don't know if many of you guys know this, but one of the cool things about the 1972 Dolphins is that Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris were the very first teammates to rush for 1,000 yards in a single season. Let me go ahead and say that one more time in case you didn't hear it. The very first teammates to each rush for 1,000 yards in a single season. Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris for the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely love it. Sorry, give me a second. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm telling you, Look, let me put it to you this way. By week 10, the Miami Dolphins had already clinched the AFC East title. Morale was our QB, and the Dolphins were already on top. We won the division right then and there. And on top of that, too, already solidified our path to the Super Bowl. Well, the playoffs. You know what I mean? And we clinched all of that by week 10. Thank you, Morale. Much appreciated. Our 38-year-old, which back then was pretty old, and till this day, 38-year-old in football is old, even though nobody gave that memo to Aaron Rodgers or to definitely Tom Brady. That memo got shredded somewhere. Uh, this man wants to play till he's 50. Well, it's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But yes, that's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. You have to be happy about that. You know what I mean? You have to be happy about that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and this is why I read the passing and the rushing yards, because you have to understand how this team did it, how they had to overcome adversity. We got a backup veteran as our QB right now, because our starter got injured and broke his ankle. People didn't sprain it, broke his ankle. Took 10 weeks to go ahead and bring it and bring it up to form. But guess what? It's still pretty awesome. What's up, Trey? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, this 1972 Dolphins team was just built different. Mm. They were built different. Built different. So yeah, telling you, we uh we did all right. We did all right. We did all right. And you know what? I'm loving it. I'll take it. Dolphinized in 83. I don't know what that means, but I think y'all are having your own conversations in the chat. Yeah, so man, this Miami Dolphins team, amazing. Now we got week 11. We're playing the St. Louis Cardinals. Whoa. St. Louis Cardinals? Where have I heard that before? Baseball. I know, Color. You're. I think you're a Cardinals fan. Um, but yes, yes, we beat the St. Louis Cardinals 31-10, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. We got 24 first downs, just murdering, annihilating. 426 total yards. This is when my man was taken over. Morai, he did 226 passing yards. We got 200 on the ground. We coughed it up twice, but it's okay. It happens. And guess what our no-name defense did for the Miami Dolphins? I hadn't mentioned that on purpose because I wanted to mention this particular part. 6 total turnovers they caused. 6 total turnovers. 6 total turnovers. Yeah, I said color. I said baseball team. Yeah, because San Luis Cardinals. That's the name of the baseball team. But 6 total. This no name defense. Look, they literally had no names. No names. Like no names. You know what I mean? We had nobody. I mean, we had there were so much, and we talk about Walmart shoppers nowadays. Like obviously that didn't exist, but they literally had nobodies. Like we only have one Hall of Famer in that defense. Nick Boniconti. I'm butchering his name. Sorry, sir. Actually, no, I think I said it exactly. I sounded it out well. Our linebacker, Nick, Hall of Famer. And guess what? He was literally the only one that had any, like, sort of pizzazz to him, if you will. You know what I mean? No name defense, led by nobody except Nick. You know, we had the offensive end Bill Stanfield, our tackle Manny Fernandez, our safeties Dick Anderson and Jake Scott. So yeah, no name defense, literally a bunch of nobodies. And you know who actually coined that phrase, which is actually kind of funny? It wasn't even us. We didn't coin it. It was the at that time the Dallas Cowboys head coach Tom Landry that gave them their name because they're like, who are these bunch of nobodies? Literally, bunch of nobodies. That's the funny part of that. You know what I mean? This defense was just dominant. They weren't letting nothing through. Nothing through. The 1972 defense guys, at that point they were just murdering. I mean, I don't even know what you can say except the defense. Again, no name defense. They were insane. They were like possessed. I don't even know. I don't even know what other way of saying it except they were possessed. And you know what? I'll take it every day, all day. Every day, all day. Every day, all day, baby. And they did their thing. And that took us to 11-0, baby. 11-0. 31-10 versus the St. Louis Cardinals. Then we go week 12, obviously, against New England after whooping them for the one of the biggest all-time point differentials. Biggest win, biggest blowout, shutdown and shutout. 52-0 back in week 9. We meet them again in week 12, ladies and gentlemen. What do? Spank them one more time. 37-21 Dolphins, baby. And this one, the Dolphins went off. We had a total offense of 501 yards, led by Morris, led by Zonka, over 300 rushing yards in that game. Insane. It was our biggest rushing game. When we went to the floor, and mind you guys, this is December 3. So you know it's New England, you know it's cold. You know what I mean? We're warm weather city. And we had to go all the way up there. It's flipping cold in New England. And guess what? We just spanked them. Spanked them. Now, we cuffed the ball up 3 times. Obviously, we did 3 turnovers offensively. We still took the ball from them twice. They only did a total of 217 yards, guys. Only that. I'm telling you, this team was possessed. That was week 12. Now we're 12-0, ladies and gentlemen. 1972, week 13. We play against the New York Giants. Big Blue spanked them 23-13. Yup, 23-13, ladies and gentlemen. 367 total yards, 204 in rushing, 167 in passing. Come on, man. And this time we took care of the ball. We only cuffed it up once, and our no-name defense destroyed the Giants and forced 6 turnovers by the Giants. I'm talking about they were humming, baby. Humming. Humming. It was so beautiful. And then obviously the last week of the season, week 14, December 16, 1972 at 1 o'clock Eastern. Man, the Dolphins have always been stuck playing at 1 o'clock. Oh, jeez. 50 years and we're still stuck playing at 1 o'clock. This is ridiculous. Oh, unreal. But guess what? Guess what we did? In a true Hall of Fame fashion, true undefeated fashion, ladies and gentlemen, your Miami Dolphins back in December 16th at 1 o'clock play the Baltimore Colts. This is their second divisional game against them. And guess what? We shut them out. 16-0 Dolphins. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our no-name defense with literally nobodies. Another 6-game takeaway, baby. You know how many times they did that? 3 times in the last 4 weeks. That no-name defense for 6 turnovers. Oh my God. In such a undefeated fashion, we again end the season, the regular season, 16-0 against the Baltimore Colts. Come on, how exciting is that? How excited can't you, like, you have to love the history of all this. Oh my God. Like, literally, the Dolphins literally murdered that no-name defense. Bunch of nobodies. Murdered. 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 And when you got a team like this, with Zonka, with Morris, with Warfield, with Little, Norm Evans, with Nick, with Stanfield, Anderson, and Scott, guess what? All of those are part of the 9 Pro Bowlers in that year that were selected to the Pro Bowl. And on top of that, too, Little, Morale, Stanfield, and Anderson were all named first team All Pro. All of them. All of them. Come on. This team was just, it was just too much. That O line, Jim Langer and Larry Little, man, both of them Hall of Famers. They were just annihilating those defensive lines. Annihilating those defensive lines. What's up, Greg Neal? Welcome. I'm telling you. Like, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. These Dolphins were amazing. And we went 14-0 in the regular season. 14-0. You realize that in 1972, we went undefeated and untied that entire season. It's the only time in NFL history. And why untied? Because ties happened back then too. No. This is why it's called a perfect season. Regular season, 14-0. Never been done before. I mean, you can't even like, people don't understand how hard that is. How hard that is. But guess what? Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. Dolphins, we were the first. What's up, Paul? How you doing, buddy? Let me tell you something too. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over the last three games in that season, because I only went over regular season. Now we're in the preseason. This is the divisional game. This is the night before Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. December 24, 1972, at 3 p.m. Eastern, ladies and gentlemen. Your Miami Dolphins. Guess what? They went up against the Cleveland Browns. Yep. Yep. Amazing. We won 20-14 that day. 198 rushing yards, 74 passing yards, a total of 272 yards. We only cuffed it up twice, but our no-name defense forced 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. They technically had more yardage than us in the offense. Our defense did give up 283 yards, but they got 5 turnovers, taking us to 15-0. We won the divisional round. Then our conference championship, the AFC championship, on New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen, at noon, 12 noon, the Miami Dolphins play the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-17. 21-17, the Dolphins won. We had 314 total yards, 121 passing, 193 in rushing. We only coughed it up once this game in the AFC Championship, but we got it. That no-name defense, guess what? They took it twice and forced 2 turnovers. Amazing. And then we get to the biggest championship of all, Super Bowl 7, baby. This is January 14th that the Dolphins, we're gonna blow Pittsburgh out. I'm feeling this one. I am too, especially after talking all about this 1972 stuff. I'm feeling pumped. I don't know how you're not feeling pumped. You know what I mean? So I'm with you, color. Yup, absolutely. Super Bowl, Super Bowl 7, ladies and gentlemen. Your Miami Dolphins went ahead in a neutral ground, obviously. The Washington Redskins. Yes, in case you didn't hear that. The Washington Redskins, unlike all these ridiculous people nowadays, I would recognize the Native Americans in my country and say the Washington Redskins, thank you very much. I have personal friends who are of Native American and indigenous background. They're okay with Washington Redskins or the Cleveland Indians or the Atlanta Braves. I'm not trying to whitewash sports. Some of these woke people are doing, but that's for another thing and another day. Yeah, the Washington Redskins. We beat them. And this is a low scoring game, ladies and gentlemen. This is a tough game. Very tough game. We only scored 14 points, 2 touchdowns. They scored 1 touchdown, 7 points. We got 12 first downs in that game. 253 total yards. Only 69 passing and 184 rushing. Guys, we coughed up the ball twice, ladies and gentlemen. People don't understand is this was not an easy game. It wasn't. It was brutal. You know January 14th. It's cold. We're Dolphins. We don't do cold like that. At least the team. Yeah. Our defense gave up 228 yards, but only 87 in passing and 141 in rushing. And they forced 3 turnovers, ladies and gentlemen. 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers. This was one of the most brutal, in my opinion, Super Bowls. It was rough. January 14, 1973. Because, the Miami Dolphins first quarter, Howard Twilley caught a 28-yard pass from Bob Greasy. Oh, did I forget to mention that Bob Greasy came the second half of the AFC Championship to win us that game? Yep, he did. And in the Super Bowl, like I just said, Twilley caught a 28 pass from Bob Greasy, making it Miami 7, Washington 0. End of the first quarter. Then we got Jim Kick doing a 1-yard rush, scoring in the second quarter for Miami Dolphins. making it 14-0 at that point. Obviously, Gary Eppermian kicked in the extra point twice. You know what I mean? Third quarter, it was defense all the way. Nobody scored. Nobody scored in that Super Bowl. And even fourth quarter, the very, very last minute, Mike Bass had a 49-yard special teams fumble return from us and scored. Scoop and score. And got the seven, the only scoring. Not even their offense scored. It was special teams that the Redskins scored. And Kirk Knight obviously kicked in the extra point, making it 14-7 at the end of the fourth quarter. And for the Super Bowl, the very first time, your Miami Dolphins were Super Bowl champs in Super Bowl 7. Yep. Oh, what amazing. And this one was played in the Memorial Coliseum, ladies and gentlemen. So it was neutral. Both teams were East Coast teams. You know what I mean? Going all the way to the other side, to the West Coast for this. The Miami Dolphins ended that season in 1973, January 14, 1973, with a perfect record of 17-0. Undefeated, untied, perfect record. The Redskins, they finished 13-4, obviously losing the most important game of all. Yeah, I mean, amazing. And did you guys know it's 64 degrees? That's rough. I can't do cold like that. I can't do cold like that. That's awful in my opinion. Absolutely awful. But guess what? We made it happen. We made it happen. We absolutely made it happen. And just so you guys know, in case you didn't know, the Dolphins were the very first team to go 14-0. But they were, well, not the first team. They were the first team to go 17-0 and win the championship. But there were actually three other teams in NFL history that have gotten 14-0 before. Okay. That was the Chicago Bears, the Bears back in 1934 and 1942. They did it twice. They went 14-0 in the regular season. And we all know New England Patriots in 2007 went 14-0 in the regular season. Or I guess 16-0, since technically it was 16 weeks, by then. But all three of them lost the biggest game of the season, man, the Super Bowl. That year in 2007, if you guys do not know or remember, and this is why I'm a big Blue fan, I'm a New York Giants fan, as a Miami Dolphins fan. Shout out to Eli Manning, man, and Coach Coughlin. The New York Giants, literally, I mean, talk about mid type of team. Mediocre, but they did enough to get into the playoffs. Rattled it off, got some wins, and made it to the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, the game was pretty much over. It was pretty much over. Except that very beautiful passing catch, helmet catch. Until this day goes down as the one of the most iconic moments in NFL history. That continued that drive and let the New York Giants down for the score and to win the Super Bowl back in 2007. I know exactly what I was wearing, what I was doing, who I was with. It was nobody because I was in school. But I remember it all. I remember yelling so hard, I woke up pretty much everybody near me. I was so happy. I cried so much. Tears of joy. I don't even know. Like it was insane. It was insane. It was insane. If you watched that Super Bowl, it was one of the most insane Super Bowls I've ever witnessed in my life. Extremely young life, I get it. But still, I've never experienced something like that. Never. And that Super Bowl was when the Giants saved the Miami Dolphins' perfect season. Every Dolphins fan was a Giants fan that day. Every single Dolphins fan, and you lying if you're not agreeing with me. You're lying. Richard, I'm with you. Eli should be in the Dolphins Ring of Honor, bro. He should be. He should be. At that point, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was a Dolphins win right there. That was a Dolphins win. Oh man, that was so awesome. It was so awesome. Absolutely, absolutely loved that game, and it saved that perfect season. That's why I pay my respects to the New York Giants. Thank you for saving the Miami Dolphins' perfect season. That's why right now I'm holding my breath. I'm trying to see who's gonna beat the Eagles because I don't need to be last minute breathing, and seeing them make it happen. We've never seen a team win the Super Bowl in the home field. It didn't just happen. It happened twice back to back with the Tampa Bay 2 years ago and the Rams last year. So I don't need any other, first times things or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't need things to be um you know whatever. Ronald says Brady's still brooding. He is. He hates it. The New York Giants are Tom Brady's kryptonite because they didn't do just once; they did it twice. Oh my god! I'm telling you, it's like another slap in the face. Absolutely love it. So yeah, so it's happened before. It even happened before we were, going 14-0 with the Bears twice, and the Patriots doing it in the regular season. But nobody has encapsulated that monumental, perfect season. I mean, if you think about it and if you love sports, you're going to know exactly what reference I'm going to say right now. 1996, the Chicago Bulls went 72 uh, and 8, 72 and 9. Oh, I know they won 72 games. It was the most games ever won by a team up to that point. I forgot how many they lost. Single digits. Somebody I'm sure is going to correct me and just put it. Yeah, that Giants defense was insane. And guess what? They won the championship. They won the world title, the NBA championship that year. Nobody has ever won 72 games in a regular season and won the championship. Everybody wants to talk about Golden State got 73 wins. For what? They lost the championship. Who cares? 72 and 10? I feel like, nah. Is it? Oh, you know what? It is 72 and 10 because it's 82 game season. So thank you, Greg. Yes. 72 and 10. Because the what do you call it? The Golden State Warriors, they did 73 and 9. There you go. So thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. You know what? That don't mean jack. Doesn't mean anything. You didn't win the championship. The Patriots went I don't know, 17 and 1. Yeah, exactly. And won. You're lost, buddy. You're lost. And guess what? Dolphins, Dolphins, right here, baby. Perfect season. So, still the greatest NBA team of all time has to be the 1996 Chicago Bulls. The greatest team of all time in football is the Miami Dolphins, 1972. Facts are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Um, but yeah, that was oh yeah, that was amazing, 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 amazing. Um, and a fun fact back in 2013, 40 decades. I mean, in the 40th anniversary, um, President Obama brought in all of the surviving members and pretty much commemorated them, noting they never got their White House visit. Because back then that wasn't a thing. And brought them all in, to get to visit the president, and all of that. And the 1972 Miami Dolphins is ranked number one out of 100 greatest teams of all time, led by all time by the NFL in their 100th anniversary. I mean, uh, it's a beautiful team. It's a beautiful team. And you know what? We were pretty good. So I want to do something special real quick, and I want to shout them out because I feel like they all need it. They really all need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shout them out. I'm gonna shout out all of the 1972 Miami Dolphins rosters, including even the practice squad. But I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna go with the practice squad players. Shout out to Mike Kaddish, DT. Shout out to you, sir, for being part of that legendary team. Shout out to the reserve list, Carl Newman and Tom Curtis. Shout out to y'all. Both of them in the IR, but still part of the team. Shout out to our special teams, our kicker, Garo Yeppermean, Larry Seipel, our punter, and Billy Lothbridge, our other punter. I want to shout out the defensive backs, Team Foley, corner, Curtis Johnson, corner, Dick Anderson, our strong safety, Jake Scott, our free safety, Charlie Babb, strong safety, Mike Howell, free safety, Lloyd Mumford, corner, and Harry Stokey. Yeah. Our linebackers, Doc Smith, Nick Buoni Conti. He's Italian, man. It's kind of hard. It's a lot of pronunciation there. Shout out to Mike Colin, Larry Ball, Bob Matheson, Jesse Powell. Shout out to all of our defensive linemen. Malty Moore, Jim Dunaway, Bill Stanfield, Bob Hines, Manny Fernandez, and then Vern Den Herder. Shout out to you guys. You know what I mean? And shout out to our offensive lineman, Wayne Moore, tackle, Al Jenkins, guard, Howard King Dig, tackle, Norm Evans, tackle, Larry Little, guard, Jim Langer, our center, Bob Akuchenberg, another guard, and Doug Cruzen, another tackle. Shout out to our tight ends, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Fleming and Jim Mandich. You know how lures me. Some tight ends. And funny enough, Jim Mandich, one of the first ones to wear the number 88. Y'all know that's my favorite number. And right now, my favorite player in the Dolphins currently is Mike Gesicki wearing number 88. Yeah, I told you there were similarities. 1972, 1922. So shout out to you, sir. Much appreciated. Then shout out to our wide receivers, ladies and gentlemen. Otto Stowe, Ed Jenkins, Marlon Briscoe, Paul Warfield, and Howard Twilly. Shout out our wide receivers. Shout out to our running backs, some of which are Hall of Famers. Shout out to Jenkins, Herbert Ginn, Charles Lay, Jim Kick, Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris. Yep. I know Zonka and Charles were also considered fullbacks too. I get it. They're running backs. And then last but not least, shout out to, well, no, I have to leave the very other last one in a second. Shout out to our quarterbacks, Jim Del Geizo, Bob Greasy, and Earl Morrow. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your Miami Dolphins 1972 roster. Yep. Shout out to all of you guys for making the team, for being there, for being part of it. I mean, it's history, you know? It is history. Um, but yeah, that to me, man, so beautiful. So beautiful, man. So beautiful. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, so beautiful. Yes, JM, tell everybody to subscribe. Thank you. Mad Dog Jim. James Scott, Original 13. Yep, you're right. You are right, sir. Original 13. What's up, Chef Jill? Yeah. And then obviously um you can't talk about this team without talking about the winningest coach of all time. The greatest coach of all time. The best coach of all time. I don't know what else I need to say other than, all this extra stuff. But shout out to, and may he rest in peace, Don Shula. Literally the greatest coach of all time. Yeah. Shout out to you, sir. You went perfect 14-0. Perfect season 17-0. No ties either in that. Won the division, won the conference, won the Super Bowl. Man, so amazing. You hold a record for 347 wins as a head coach. What can I say? I know what's his name is trying to get to it. That's why he refuses to quit. I'm hoping he quits before he gets it. And you know what? Even if he does gets it, a loser mentality, he'll probably just get it and retire the next day. Um, it don't matter. He still won't be the greatest coach of all time. That would be Don Shula. Um, so yeah, man, shout out to you, sir, for bringing that amazing culture of the Dolphins. And you know what? Shout out to Joe Robbie, man. Thank you for funding and founding for the Miami Dolphins. Thank you. Thank you, Joe Robbie. Hence Joe Robbie Stadium. Harold Schnellenberger. Can't even say his name. So he was the OC. Shout out to you, sir. DC. Bill Arnsprager. Shout out to you, sir. Yeah. Monty Clark, O line assistant, and Mike Scarry, D line assistant. At the end of the day, this was the greatest, and till this day, it is the greatest team of all time, ranked number one in the 100 years of the NFL. I know right now it's like over 100, but whatever. You know what I mean? That's the 1972 Dolphins, man. It is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're celebrating something very beautiful, something that you'll never see in professional sports ever again. And every time somebody beats somebody who's undefeated, we can all breathe easy and pop our champagne that the 72 Dolphins remain undefeated. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what we have for you today. I wanted to celebrate. I wanted to take the time to honor the 1972 Miami Dolphins. And guess what? I feel like we did today. We really had some great shit. If you didn't know about the 1972 Dolphins, now you got to learn a little bit. Catch the replay. Catch the replay. Congratulations and welcome back. Everybody on Twitter and Twitch, thank you so much for joining. As this has been your 1972 Miami Dolphins recall, not reenactment, but I would say our 1972 trip down memory lane, and comparing it to our 2022 Miami Dolphins season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're celebrating on Sunday versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go out and get a win. Shout out to the Miami Dolphins. Amazing organization, the greatest organization of all time. And shout out to everybody here. Thank you for joining Miss Phins. This is the Miss Phins Show. I am your host, Miss Phins. You can find me Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to donate, feel free. You see Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Feel free to do so. I really do appreciate it. All goes to the back to the channel. But ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Your Miami Dolphins 1972 perfect season. Thank you, everybody, for shoving through, coming through, and really do appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining me this morning. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.